hour time, we can, for the later part, we can do an actual debate. And then like next week, we can continue doing debates, and then I'll give you feedback or suggestions on like, this is good, you should like do a blah 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 to improve or get better. And so then hopefully by the end of next week, you guys will be like experts in debate. Okay, so strategies for rebuttal. So one thing you can do is show that the other team is just wrong, like you're just not right. So if, for example, if they say the death penalty prevents crime, you can say, well, actually, that's just wrong. Here's like this study and this study which show that the rate of crime in countries where they have the death penalty is the same as in countries where they don't have the death penalty. So they are just actually wrong, and I'm right. So that's one way. Another strategy, number 2, is that you can show that their philosophy, the foundation of their argument, is very dangerous. So what I mean by this is that, for example, did we argue about the topic about eating animals unnecessarily is not right? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. So, for example, with that topic, you could, if they said we cannot eat animals because they are living, you could say, well, the other team said we cannot eat animals because they are living. However, also vegetables are living. So does that mean that we can't eat vegetables either? And pretty much everything that we eat was once living. So does that mean we can't eat anything except rocks? Because rocks are not living? So you can show that, like, if you take the logic of their argument and you, like, push it a little bit further, that it just, like, crumble. It doesn't make sense anymore. This is called the slippery slope argument. So slippery means, like, it's, like, easy to, like, slip. I don't know, like, you know how if the floor is wet, you can slip? Yeah. Yeah. So, and slope means like a mountain, like this is a slope. So a slippery slope means that you can easily, like, if you go a little bit further, you can easily just fall down, and the argument is not good anymore. Yeah? Does that make sense? So, yeah, we can practice with some more examples of this. So, well, for right now, we'll try to do some practice with the first 2 strategies. So first, showing that they're wrong. And for this first strategy, showing that they're wrong, you don't want to, like, show, like, tiny little details are wrong. You want to show, like, the foundation of their argument is wrong, like, the main point of their argument. You don't want to say, like, oh, well, they said that it's 73%, but it's actually 74%. Like, that doesn't really, okay, fine. But you want to show that, like, really the big part of their argument is wrong, if it is wrong. If you can't do this, then you can try seeing if you can do this, the slippery slope. If you, like, take their logic a little bit further, it just doesn't make sense anymore. Okay. So there's, like, a few more strategies, but we can practice these first. And in a real debate, usually you'll want to attack each of their points. Say they have 3 points. You'll want to give for each point at least 1 rebuttal. And maybe sometimes you can show they're wrong and the slippery slope argument. And that's even better if you can do, like, 2 strategies against their points, because that means you're like really, you were definitely right. Okay. Cool. So let's look at these 2 statements. Okay, so okay, so for each of these two statements, in your group, try to use either one of these to think of a rebuttal to each of these statements. So for example, we should not eat meat because it could be bad for us. Try to think of either a rebuttal using strategy 1 or using strategy 2, or one of each, both, that you could say if your opponent, if the other person says we should not eat meat because it could be bad for us, you can say, well, okay, well they said this, but actually, and then think of what you can say using one of these two strategies. Same thing for second one. The death penalty is justified because it saves money. Okay.